Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, may you settle down, please. So, my name is Victor, and I'll be taking you through analytical techniques. And today's session is going to be involving introduction to simple distillation. But first, before you proceed, I'd like to take a roll call of the class members present. I can see some not here. Or is this the full number? Who is the class rep? Okay. So let me start. Seraphine?
Present.
Okay. Mercy?
Present.
Naomi?
Present.
Brenda?
Present.
Nema?
Present.
David? Present. Emmanuel? Present. Good. So it seems all of you are in. Now, let's have the questions. We are going to look at introduction to simple distillation. Yeah? Today is the 11th of November 2025. Just as I highlighted, it's introduction to simple distillation. The learning outcomes you are expected to, at the end of this, be able to define simple distillation, you should be able to identify components of a simple distillation setting. Thank you, Nema. So we had talked to your class rep earlier, and she shared with me a link to your class group, which I've also shared links to it. So in which you find a video that relates to this. So it is a 1 minute video. As you watch it, I'd like you to ponder on this. How do you separate a mixture of two liquids with varied boiling points, but they are mixable? For instance, let's take an example of water and ether. Both are polar, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Are their boiling points the same?
No.
Now, in such a scenario, how do you separate the two? In that video, I believe you will find some guidance, and I'd like you to take note of all the activities involved. What do you notice, step number? Anything that is noticeable in the video? Yes?
Heating.
Heating? I can see that. David?
There is some sort of flask that is connecting something like a liquid.
Okay. Some collection plus some at some point. Yes, Mercy?
Vapor droplets.
There are vapor droplets. Okay. Now, that act, the steps that I just described, the one that involves the heating, the droplets, of which you see a certain tube that is connected in that very video, all that, the process of evaporation, condensation, and collection, that is what we call distillation. And all this happens as a result of varied boiling points. Now, simple distillation is described as a process used to separate a liquid. Let me write it down. Simple distillation is a process used to separate liquid mixes of varied boiling points typically more than 25 degrees Celsius differences. That is the actual description and definition of the simple distillation. Moving forward, when met with such kind of circumstance, and yes, you have your problem, the challenge that you're facing. Now you have the setup. Now you have to hold it up. Again, I'll still refer to the video, the one that you have seen. You have seen the flask. You have seen the steps. But then, are you able to identify those components that are within that whole process? This is now where we're coming to. We need to identify that because this, other than us explaining it here, we'll have to do it practically when we meet next time. Now, as you are sitting, I'd like you to think of the kind of components that you have seen from the video that I shared, the link that I shared. Because at this level, I believe in your high school, you also did chemistry and you are conversant with some of the laboratory equipment. Therefore, I'd like you to at least identify one or two, one that you can easily relate to, and tell me the kind of components that you can describe. Yes? The Bunsen burner. The Bunsen burner. Bunsen burner. Yes?
Clamp and stand.
Clamp and stand. Yes?
Condenser.
The condenser. Who else? Yes?
Thermometer.
The thermometer. Yes, the round bottom flask. Round bottom flask. Yes.
Receiving flask.
And receiving flask. Okay, so these are the components, correct?
Yes.
Now there are names that walk around here. In the round bottom flask, the one that is directly heated, it contains the mixture.
Yes.
And then we have the condenser in between, and then we have the receiving flask. So as not to, can someone come and assist me with this? Thank you. Now this that you see here is the heat source. From our components here, we call it the, yes, it can be even a heating mantle. It necessarily doesn't have to be a Bunsen burner. So this is the
Heat source.
heat source. Okay? And then we have the distilling flask right here. The difference between the distilling flask and what was mentioned as a round bottom flask is that it has got a shoulder that connects to the condenser. So this is called a distilling flask. A round bottom flask doesn't necessarily have it. So this is the distilling flask. So you take note of that. And then we have the condenser, as it was said, where we have the water, cold water coming in and cold water coming out. Why do we use cold water on this? Yes? To cool the vapor. What else was mentioned? We have mentioned this. We have mentioned this. The clamp and stand. The one that aids in the support. As you can see. Correct? On top of the condenser, we have the thermometer there. Correct? And then we have the receiving flask, which can be a conical or a flat bottomed flask. So we generalize it as the receiving flask. But then in here we can see this liquid is being referred to as. Now the distillate is that which evaporates fast. Okay?
Yes.
Now, with that, separation shall have been achieved because the one with the low boiling point will evaporate out fast. Okay? Again, in your group, I had already sent another link that talks about the functionality of each and every component as I have listed here. In your own time, go through that. It is an interactive image whereby you touch on the component and it tells you the functionality of that component. It is in your groups. Again, I really advocate for you to go through it. Is that okay? Yes. So, with that, I guess we are done with the lesson on simple distillation, and we have defined it, and we have talked on the components. Unless someone has any question. Does anyone have any question before I move this? Okay. Now, I have a few for you, if you don't have for me, because I have to counter it. Now, simple distillation is used to separate mixtures of a difference of how many degrees Celsius? 1 degree. Yes, Brenda. 25 degrees Celsius. Okay. And